Hello, how you doing? My name is Damilari, and we want to continue this series of videos where we're looking at men and the identity of men, the purpose of men, the calling of men, the pursuits of men. Today, we want to look at money. I think it's almost impossible to look at men and not talk about money because it really does feel like for us as men, our lives center around money. And we can justify it too. I need to ensure there's a roof over the head of my family. I need to ensure that there's food on the table for my family. I need to ensure that my kids are in school now. Oh, they're going to college. There's this theme of money that seems to be almost feels like the most important in the lives of men. And so I want to challenge that for a little bit, that what was God's design? When it comes to resources, was money supposed to be the source and the center of how we get what we need? So the crazy thing that I realized, shall I say, a few days ago, I said, hold up a moment. When God created the earth, and when God created man and put him in the earth, was there money? And the short answer is, if you look at the Bible, no, there wasn't money. Um, the earth was bountiful. And so man had everything it needed. The earth was bountiful, the food was just right there, and um, the environment was conducive, so the man was not thinking about some special shelter. But if you know the story of creation and the story of man, as the Bible records it, you realize that I should say, that man rebelled. And so in the rebellion, man was disconnected from the bountiful God, and he became, he experienced that disconnection from the bountiful God, and the earth brought the marks of that disconnection and rebellion as well. And so man began to hustle to provide, to tend to animals, to farm the land, to establish, to have shelter. Man began to hustle in this disconnection from God. I think the very astonishing thing about our own service-oriented culture today is that um, whereby in years past, a man will build his house. The community together will build houses, um, and so a man's family is responsible for building their house, for a lot of the food that they eat, as well as even some informal, shall I say, schooling of the children. But today, in our service-oriented culture, we pay for everything, and so we pay for the house. We just have this subset of skills that we focus on as a career, and then we pay for everything else. I pay for the house, I pay for the food, I pay for the schooling. And because we are paying through this medium of exchange, money, it looks as though money is the source through which we get every single thing. I think it's radical that even for Christians who have been reconnected to God through the sacrifice of Jesus, who laid down his life to pay that price of rebellion that had to be paid with God, um, even for those who have been reconnected to God like that, we still live with that scarcity mindset, wherein we're just so focused on what we can do to get some stuff and get the resources that we need, as though God is not bountiful or God is not able to provide, forgetting the original design that God was meant to was they created us to be directed by him and to be provided for by him. Earth is not heaven, and so there's still gonna be work and some toil, but there's a new empowerment that comes from a reconnection to God, that should transform how we look for resource, how we seek to get resources, and essentially the source should no longer be, for those who are connected to God, money. Money and what I can do. The source should be God, God, and what He can do. And I think it's radical because essentially we should come to a place whereby it's really faith that God can and will provide, and money is just one of the ways through which He can do that. Now, there's this verse I really want to look at really quickly, um, in in Matthew, Jesus speaking. It's this one of the most famous messages that Jesus shared, and right there within that message, you have this statement. Therefore, I tell you, it says to us, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or what you will drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is life no more than food? And is the body no more than clothes? Look at the birds of the air. They don't sow or harvest, like farmers understand, and they don't store in barns. Well, for us, they don't store in the fridge or refrigerator, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than the birds of the field? And they eat and are taken care of by God. Why will He not take care of you who's made in His image? And I remember reading that and just being like, what in the world? But now, as I realize, going back to the beginning, God had design and purpose that He provide what we need as He guides us. And He gave Adam responsibility from the beginning. He gave man responsibility to take care of the earth. But in just doing that work, it was not supposed to be about survival. It was not supposed to be about hustling. It was supposed to be about fulfilling the purpose that God calls you to, and then you're provided for just as God has put everything there that you need. And so I think the challenge for us today is, what is your source? Is it money that you're focused on to provide what you need? Or do you really have the faith that as you focus on God and as He directs you, He'll provide what you need? That's the challenge for us today. I hope you found this useful, and I look forward to catching you in the next video.